Hello and welcome to this edition. In the previous lesson, we learned some of the terminologies used in image processing, and I also showed you some technologies like filters and CCD.R used to capture these images. We ended that section by showing you where to download and how to download the FITS Liberator, which is a program that helps to convert our FIT files to TIFF files. Because we need something to work with Photoshop or some of our programs, so you have to convert it. And then after the download, I hope you have installed it, but if you have not, you can install it. And after the installation, the icon will appear on your screen. So if you open it, you would see something like this. You can toggle the mode if you want the light mode or the dark mode. So I said I was going to attach a guide by Robert Hurt on how to effectively use this whole thing, the functions or some of these things. He did he made a guide on how to utilize it effectively. So in my subsequent video, I'll be making use of this to convert my FIT files to TIFF files, but I didn't go into details on how everything here works, but I did make some mention of some important ones that will concern us. So right now we are supposed to load our images here, but we don't have any image yet. So Google to download some of those images. And I said that in the course of this program, we will be utilizing images or data from the James Webb Space Telescope, the Hubble, and the Large Compass Observatory. So we're going to start with the Hubble Space Telescope and then migrate to the Large Compass and lastly to the James Space Telescope. So if you open your Google, you type in Hubble Legacy Archive. Hubble Legacy Archive. I have been going there often, so that's why it popped out for me. So, but you should complete it. Just type Hubble. So the first thing that will pop out is this. This is the website, and just click on it. And you have enter site. So this is the space where you can type in the name of the object that you are interested in searching for and downloading. And there are many ways you can search for this object, or you can search it by the household name, which is the general name, or you can search it through the professional name, the Messier catalog, the NGCs, so on and so forth. So for instance, if we are to start, assuming that let us want to search for Andromeda Galaxy, Andromeda Galaxy, Andromeda Galaxy, you can type Andromeda and search. Or you can also search with the professional name, which is M31 or NGC 224. All of these would yield the same result. So here is the result of Andromeda Galaxy. This is the data. I have an object in my mind, which is the Bubble Nebulae. The Bubble Nebulae, right? Bubble Nebulae. Bubble Nebulae is also known as NGC 7635. So I can search by also writing NGC 7635. So you can click on and search. However, if you want to also know other means you can search for your object, you can click on more and read up everything that is here. So we don't need that. So let's go and search for our. So the first page that you will see is the inventory page. But if you want to see your pictures in the preview mode, you can click on images. So for this image, there are about 123 results. So here you can change the number of images that appear in a page, and I love to change it to 100. So you can check all this data. I'm going to start from the beginning. You might also want to check on the advanced search, and here you will see all the cameras mounted on the telescope. So in case if you do not want images from a particular camera, you can just turn it off. Maybe from here, this all. We don't want all the images. But as a beginner, I wouldn't want you to turn anything off. Just leave them on. Leave everything on and still hide it. So this is the first set of data that appear. These are images. And if you look very carefully, you would see that some are full shape, square, while some are cropped. This is typical of the old camera on the Hubble Space Telescope. They are responsible for these things, but the later pictures that the telescope provided are not like that. But if you ever see them, it means that they are old pictures from the Hubble Space Telescope. And I usually do not like downloading them. I like to look for the full ones, but if I don't find any full one, I will go for them. So if you look carefully, there are many things, details about this data here. For instance, here, the most important part of this data is this nomenclature here. So this stands for the Hubble Space Telescope, and here you have the proposal number or the mission number, because before you start observing, it's called mission or project. So you have to have a number. You have to designate a number for it. And this 01 represents the visit number, how many times the Hubble Space Telescope has captured this image. So for this case, this is the first image that of this bubble nebula that the Hubble Space Telescope has captured. And here is the wide field planetary camera 2, the camera that captured it, and here is the filter F487. N stands for narrowband, and we've seen that before in our previous video. Here is wide field. So if you also look at the other ones, they have the same, almost the same detail, but different filters. And this one is planetary camera. So to be able to download images, you would need 3 sets of images to represent your red, green, and blue. So you would need those images to have the same proposal number and the visit number and also the camera, but different filters. So we are going to look for extra 2 data that will match this one. Okay, they should have the same information except filters to correspond to our green and blue or red. So if you look very carefully to this one, it has all the properties, it has different filters, but this is planetary camera. This is planetary camera. So we are looking for another wide field. So if you search below, you would also see that this one is is in resemblance. It is also wide field. Okay. If you check this one, this is planetary camera. And if you check this one again, this one is okay. This one is exactly, except this is a medium filter. We don't need that. We don't need that for now. Sorry. This is what it's almost like this one, but because of we need to just look for other options, but if we don't find, we will come back to this. So if you look at this one, it's different. We are looking for wide field, and if you come here, the same proposal number, visit number, same camera, and different filters. I think this is okay. Let's highlight it, and I think we have up to 3 already. You can keep checking, okay, but once you have gotten up to 3, you can stop. It's at the 3. So which one do you think corresponds to red, green, and blue? So the red one should be the one that has the longest wavelength, as indicated by the filter. So if you observe, this one has the longest wavelength, followed by this one. This one is going to be the green, and this one is going to be the blue. So to be able to download them, you would click on the fit science. That is number 1. So I click on the fit science. Number 2, click on the fit science. Number 3. So we have 3 data. To be able to see your images, you come over here and click, and these are your data. So right here is the total size of all the data that you just click. And be mindful, sometimes some of these images are quite large, but in this case it is very moderate. So look at some of them. So in case if you clicked on the wrong image, you can easily remove them. So you can download sequentially, assuming that you want to download it one by one. You can just, it is already ticked here, so you can just click on fetch data. But if you want to download all of them in a zipped file, come over here and click, and just click on fetch data, and the download will begin. So what I am not interested in downloading now. I'm just interested in walking you through how to navigate the Hubble Legacy Archive to download images. So later we're going to come back to this. So I'm not interested in downloading anything. So I want to clear the cache. Let's go back. So the example I have just shown you is for narrowband. How about for wideband? That means that you want to download images from the wideband filter. So the example we're going to see is the Sombrero Galaxy M104. Sombrero Galaxy M104. This time I'm going to use the professional name, which is the Messier Catalog 104. So this is the result. So you can check based on what I've said before. You need at least 3 images to represent your RGB data or filters, and they must be the same proposal number, the same visit number, the same camera, but different filters. So you can use that idea to keep searching these things, and I'm going to help you because I've been visiting this website for a long time now. So I have actually been searching, and from experience, there's nothing in the first page. Can't find a good data in the first page. You can find if you want to manage, but I like to go for complete ones. I like to go for complete images. So you keep checking. I've checked before. You would land here. This is the complete one. This is the complete one. And if you observe, they have the same proposal number, the same camera, but different filters. So this is 435 wideband. This is 555 wideband. So this is 625 wideband. So in the right order, this should be the red, this should be your your green, and this should be your blue. So to download them, you can click on the card like I showed you before. But you have another alternative for downloading. Sometimes when the files are quite large like this, it starts to act up. I've experienced that before, so I use another alternative to download these images. If you right click, you will see open image in new tab. So if you click on this open image in new tab, it begins to download. So after clicking on this one, you come on this one and click, download this one, come to this one and click, and you download it. So this is how I do my download in case if the other option is acting up. So I'm going to give you a little bit of assignment because looking for the right data to download is a lot of hard work. Like you can see, there's a lot of junk in here. A lot of junk. Look at this. You have more junks than real data here. So if you want to search for an object that you want to download, you have to really search hard. Okay. You can't even see anything here. You can't even see the preview because it's not a good data. So we're going to search for the antenna galaxy, which is NGC 4038. NGC 4038. So adopting our idea, we should check one by one, and you will discover that this particular one are the complete ones that we have here in the first page. So these are the ones that are good. If you observe the proposal number, this is the visit number. The visit number is 10. This is the 10th image of this antenna galaxy captured by this Hubble Space Telescope. This is the camera. This is the filter. This is also another filter. The same information but different filter. The same information but different filter. If you check again, you just have the same information but different filter. Wow. And this is also the same information but different. This one is called total. This is total combined. And this is also colored, total combined and colored. You don't actually need these two, okay? Because the images have been combined. You don't need them, at least for your work, but you can download them and use them for any purpose, but not for the purpose of what we are facing right now. So right now we have just these four. We have identified these four images. They have the same parameters but different filters. But if you observe very closely, you would notice that all of the three are the three are wideband. This is wideband, this is wideband, but this is narrowband, and this is wideband. So from these three, this is going to serve as our red. This is going to serve as our hydrogen alpha luminosity layer. This is going to serve as our green, and this is going to serve our blue. So when it comes to downloading, we should download the four. Like I said before, we are not aiming at downloading images for now, but we will come back to this particular object to download it. But you can check maybe if I missed any three good data that I could use for maybe this one may be good. Just check them very well. Maybe I wasn't careful enough, but I was able to identify those four. So I believe there could be more options. Another object of interest is NGC 100, sorry. This is a barred spiral galaxy. So you can adopt our idea of searching for the right images. I have searched before and I arrive at this. So these three images are good for image processing. You can check up on others, maybe I missed something, but these are the ones I could identify. So this one will serve as the blue, this one will serve as the green, this one will serve as the hydrogen alpha luminosity layer. It's a new term that I'm just mentioning, but when we start to process these images, you shall see how we work with such files, and this is going to be the red. So you can search for more of such data. And the last part is going to be, let us search for ARP273, ARP273. ARP273. These are two interacting galaxies. After my search, I arrived at the conclusion that these three are the ideal files to be processed. You can prove me wrong by also searching for these other files here. So assuming that you are not an astronomer, but you love astronomy, you are astronomy enthusiast, and you would like to participate in some of these image processing activities. How would you get started? Because you don't know anything about astronomy and you don't even know any object of interest. You don't even have any object of interest. So how would you get started? Well, I could suggest two ways. Two ways you can start to acquaint yourself with some of these deep sky objects is by using some Messier Bingo from the Las Cumbres Observatory. Let's type Messier Bingo. I'm going to attach this link to the description. Messier Bingo. So if you don't have an account with LCO or just want to play Messier Bingo, okay, let's play it. So this is a kind of object that shows you some sky object. This is M52. This is how beautiful M52 is. This is open cluster, so cluster of stars. This is M84, M86, M111, sorry, M11, M39, and 54. So you can be checking some of these things. It helps you to master some of these things. This is a spiral galaxy, M106. Assuming that you love this galaxy and you would like to process it, you come here M106. Let's check M106. 79 results. So you can check for the three images that would give you. Oh, we don't have good data here. Okay, we have. Look at them. So you can just check on some of these images to see if you can find three that would give you the desired result. So this is using the help of the Messier Bingo. You can just be checking some of these galaxies to see if there's anyone of interest. This one is Little Dumbbell Nebulae. All these images are in the Hubble Legacy account. You can find them there. Another suggestion I will also give you is by going on social media, you know, follow some of these pages or groups that are talking about astrophotography. Like I belong to some of them. They usually post pictures of their work on those groups. I'm just showing you an example. So this is the group I belong to, and I love they post a lot about their work. This is M82 and M81 processed by this guy. He posted it on the group, and I love it. And I said I was going to download it and process it too. This is the best way to learn to be around people that are into the activity for years. This is NGC 5128. This is the guy that processed it. So this is the best way you can acquaint yourself, joining those groups on Instagram and Facebook, M13. But this is the best way to know some of these things. And if you need help, they are there to help you with how they were able to do it. Because one thing about this image processing is there's no particular way of handling it. Some are tougher, while some are easier to process. So look at some of these beautiful. I saw these images and I appreciate and I love them and I screenshot them and I said I was going to process them. This is M4565. It's a distant it's at a distance of approximately 40 million light years away from our galaxy in the constellation Coma Berenice. It is a size approximately this. Anyway, so this is some of these are the best way to acquaint yourself with some of this celestial object. So in the next video, we're going to be going into the full work, into the full image analysis. We're going to image processing. We're going to start from the basic to the complex. Like I told you before, there's no particular way. Okay, many people have their own ideas. I'm going to just use my own idea, and I believe my idea is good for beginners. Thanks for listening.